torch. No one can explain what the alarm was or where it came from. And as Mia arrives in the attic, she senses a bad atmosphere in the room.
This is where it's coming from. This is the source. Whatever's happening in this house is coming from here. And it doesn't feel nice. It's very rare to find anything evil on Earth, very rare. And I wouldn't say this is evil. Not yet, anyway.
After her tour of the house, Mia tells the family what she's discovered. Liz's reaction to the news is completely unexpected.
The actual problem is stemming from upstairs. That's where the centre of it is. But it is in every room. I do think you've got a haunting. I do think we can sort it out. But Liz, it's been affecting you, your nerves. You've been depressed. And there's something from your childhood that you're bringing through now. It was an old man who's now in spirit.
No, I can't. I can't.
Sorry, darling. Sorry, sorry.
Liz, where are you, Liz?
Listen, darling, I didn't mean to upset her. But if we can sort it out, then it'll be finished.
I didn't wish she could pick it up that quick.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just a bit of a shock. Because nobody's mentioned him for a long time.
She said if you want to have a word with Ron around, you can.
I just honestly didn't think it would pick it up that quick.
Liz thinks Mia is talking about her dad, who died 10 years ago, and with whom she had a strained relationship. But Mia doesn't believe he's the ghost. She suspects it's something else preying on Liz's bad memories.
Often people don't want to think backwards. They don't want to go into their past and relive things. So they put them in the back of their memory and forget about them. But it still has a way of clinging on.
No, it's the fact that she picked up on that. I knew then she's a fraud. Do you know what I mean?
As soon as she said she's picked up on an old man, I thought, here we go. Straight away.
Yeah. Oh, I am so sorry to hit it on you like that. I didn't mean to.
No, don't worry.
And it's, but it's just obvious.
I know.
I promise it's going to be a lot better. I promise.
Same.
Once the house gets cleared, we will clear it. I will not leave this house until it's cleared. And when it's cleared, it's like a fresh slate. And there'll be no more things that you can't speak about. It'll be fine.
I hope so.
It's fine.
The house will now be taken over by the experts for the next 48 hours. The aim of the first night is to witness and record any ghostly activity, with the help of independent paranormal investigator David V and his assistant Mark Webb. David runs an organisation which investigates reported haunted homes. During his investigations, David claims to have witnessed some unbelievable ghost hauntings.
Over the course of 30 years that I've been investigating, I've probably got 100 photographs with genuine ghostly phenomenon caught on film.
David and Mark will set up audio-visual equipment in the exact locations where the Outramps say they've experienced the most paranormal phenomena in an attempt to capture it on film.
This is where we get a lot of the activity. I normally have all the lights on when we're here. The light's gone again. That was a new bulb last night.
I am getting a reading of 1 milligauss, which is quite interesting, but that could be natural. It could be electricity.
The equipment the investigators are using looks for disruptions in electromagnetic fields. They believe high EMF readings are indicative of spirit activity, but these readings could also be caused by faulty electrics or proximity to power lines. Mia thinks the attic is the centre of the paranormal activity. Liz has been too terrified to set foot in it since the locked door flew open and smashed into her face. To aid the investigation, she's determined to try and overcome her fear. But just 2 steps in is too much for Liz.
I can't stay up there, Helen. I can't.
Just as Liz feels overcome by feelings of dread and has to leave the attic, David's meter readings suddenly peak, and he thinks he catches sight of movement out of the corner of his eye.
I'm very definite that something moved in this room. Something made a noise. Something slid across the floor.
I went into the attic because I wanted to beat my fear. And I just felt so sick.
Sick headache.
Yeah. It's like something's just getting on my head and it's crushing it.
This is staying exactly the same strength all the time. And it's quite odd. I've never seen it do this before.
It's like I was being pushed against the wall because Mark went past me.
He's the one at the far end with the brace
No, I
box.
was standing on the stairs and...
I am concerned about this meter reading. I've never seen anything like this before, ever. Something did move up here. I'm very, very sure of that.
Only by knowing how bad it feels can you see how good it feels when you get up there.
I hope so, I really do. I can't go on living like this.
So I think the sooner we actually implement some of those scientific experiments, the better.
Coming next, unbelievable temperature changes in the attic.
That is bizarre. 27.1 degrees centigrade, and it's absolutely freezing in this room.
Strange goings-on in the kids' bedroom.
I could definitely see shadows against the blue.
No way.
Honestly.
And fear spreads through the crew.
My heart's beating really hard.
Who's that?
Two years ago, the Outram family moved into their semi-detached house in the centre of Birmingham and thought it was the ideal family home. But within weeks, their life had become a living nightmare. Liz and Chris believe their house is haunted. We've sent in psychic Mia Dolan and ghost investigators David V and Mark Webb to try and help. Using a series of scientific experiments, David and Mark will monitor any suspected paranormal activity.
Okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to set up a pair of infrared motion detectors. Basically, we put the two beams meet each other, and if anything breaks that beam, it will set off an alarm, like so. Okay.
The family have reported toys moving in the bedrooms, so the investigators are setting up trigger objects and using cameras to capture any movement. With their tracking equipment in place, Professor of Paranormal Psychology Chris French arrives. He's a skeptic and will always look for the rational explanation for things that go bump in the night.
I don't think that anybody that's looked into these kinds of issues seriously doubts that people have had weird experiences. Where the disagreement comes is how you interpret those experiences.
Tonight's investigation will begin at midnight, and disturbed by the goings-on in the house, Mia asks the Outrams to leave. Whilst one of the investigators, David, makes final equipment checks, he believes he's witnessed something weird in the children's bedroom.
I was standing here observing this area when all of a sudden a little child's toy flew from this doll's house, hit this infrared sensor beam.